YouTube faithful, what's going on? It's Captain Crush here, and it is Winning Wednesday or Wombat Wednesday. Let's try to get a dub. Everybody that watched this channel yesterday, you saw what happened. Gilbert hooked us out of the sweep. We had Nathan Eovaldi cash, Kikuchi, Soriano under cash, pitches, and his strikeouts. Told you guys he was going to get shelled, but unfortunately, Mr. Gilbert hooked at 5.5. Why? Because a rain delay happened for like 30 minutes, and when that happens, it always throws the pitchers off the game. Most of the time, they just get pulled. This time, they let them in. He wasn't locked in. He didn't get another K. That was that. Hooked at 5.5. Absolute crazy, but he did cash under 7, which I did tell everyone. So today, I'm going to talk about 2, maybe 3 MLB picks that I like today. I am churning away on version 2 of this little app here, and the hitter's side almost ready to be finalized. Been able to get a lot done. I'm putting the final touches on version 2. So without further ado, let's get this party started. All right, so I'm logged in here to version 2 of Crushed Bats, which is my data model I built. 50 data points and then some determining pitcher predictions based on a simulation model. 10,000 simulations, and we will go from there. Now, one thing about Dylan Cease is he performs way worse on the road, but today he is at home. And if we look at his last few starts, we can see that although he's been getting strikeouts 4, 8, 4, 9, 11, 7, 6, 8, 6, 10, he hasn't been doing good with the hits and earned runs. I think that he is due a good performance overall, which is going to lead me to his fantasy score today, because look, if we do run this, which you click this blue button, you set the prop odds here that you want. You can make this whatever you want. Normally it's going to auto fill in whatever is here based on the consensus props from the sports books, but you can put in whatever you want. That is how you will help you find demons and goblins. He is projected for 6.7 Ks, 2.4 earned runs, 4.7 hits, 1.8 walks, and 16 pitching outs. Now again, this is a simulation model, which it's going to give you a simulation based on the data it is fed, and the data it is fed is his 2025 starts, his 2024 starts, etc. Now, there's unquantifiable things that a data model isn't going to tell you, which is something that I'm going to tell you. Now, you could look at this and take his over 1.5 earned runs, and Captain Crush, myself, I wouldn't begrudge you a bit, comment guy. It's a 66% favored play. You're supposed to fade the strikeouts, take more unearned runs, fade the hits allowed, and fade the walks. That is the correct optimal plays. Just avoid everything and take over 1.5. However, I personally think that he's due a big game, and I can't take earned runs on parlay play, so this is what I went with. I took his earned runs on PrizePicks, okay, at 1.5 for 66%. I'm also going to dabble in his pitches thrown, 96.5. And I also think his fantasy score could be good too, but I'm not going to put this on PrizePicks. I'm going to put this on ParlayPlay because they score the same, but I only will, that way I split my exposure and I don't get overexposed. Now that, if you're in my Discord, you know I do a lot of this. I take one player and split my exposure. Under Ks, over walks, under outs, etc. Hauser today. Under Ks, under outs, over 1.5 walks. And it looks like I should have just did the Ks. Sometimes we get a full sweep. Sometimes we don't. Soriano yesterday, full sweep. Under fantasy, over runs, over walks, under pitches thrown, under Ks. That happens. In fact, I can tell you right now that Hauser's going to end up going over 17.5 outs. But he will most likely stay under Ks, I hope. But the reason for that is Toronto just got double played back to back to back pick. I mean, he's been running insanely hot with what's been going on. That's going to happen. Also, it's the early games. I tell everyone, do not overexpose or overextend yourself to the early games. But with Dylan Cease, it's not really a data play, which is, I'm a numbers guy and I like to make plays and decisions based off the data. This is more of a gut call. But actually, when I do go to parlay play and I see they have Dylan boosted at 5.5 Ks, it makes me want to just take his Ks at 5.5. I'll run it at 5.5 and see what we have. Now, if you look yesterday, this was the lineup I did give on this YouTube video, the double up for Gilbert and Eovaldi. And look, I got hooked and it happened. And then the night before that, it was DeGrom. I've been running one away since I can remember. But I loaded up and I am ready to blast full cannons for this week and the rest of this weekend, baby. So let's go back and take a look. Now, you can see the 6.5 is 49%. Now, if we go down and run it at 5.5, it all of a sudden boosts up to 62%. Okay, every time you run this, it's going to be a new simulation of 10,000 runs. So 5.5, 63%. That still leaves 37% of the time we chalk. It's not a slam dunk, okay? For goblins, I like 70% or more. That's the God's honest truth. But we will see what it is paying as opposed to something else. By the way, I also gave you guys Mike Trout over half a strikeout yesterday. That's a taco pair. That cashed. But unfortunately, the tacos didn't. Asia reboot. Robbie Ray cashed, but Robbie Ray also cashed under 6.5 Ks, and so did Hunter Brown cashed under Ks, and he chalked his tacos. Whenever that happens, guys, it's not going to be a good day. And I liked Asia Wilson to go over 22.5 points. Obviously, she was injured. She got injured. She got a reboot. No harm, no foul. But with Cease here, we got to make this decision. So let's play around with this and see what we got. Okay, so the promo is 5.5. And if we were going to take it with any random square, let's just put in Angel Reese, who plays tomorrow. Angel Reese, who plays later today, which I will have the data model posted after this video. For those of you that are in the Discord wondering where it is, I will have that game posted later on. I didn't do the early games because, again, I am building and focusing on my hitter apps and my pitcher apps. That is that. Now, Angel Reese has been dominating everything lately. Absolutely dominating. She's now a WNBA cover. My goodness. I don't know what to say for the 2K game. So what are we going to do? I'm going right back to the well. I've been taking her over. She's due regression to the mean, but I'm going to continue to ride that train. Paige is on the other side. This is going to be a high eyeball game. Both players should be wanting to perform. I think you could attack both spots. We'll have to take a look at the model later, but I am going to be looking at her rebounds to get 11 rebounds, her points rebounds, her PRA down here at 33.5. That looks good. So if we were to pair this, let's say Cease with Reese, it would pay 2.86x, which is nothing to sneeze at. Now, the problem is, like I said, she's due some massive regression, y'all. She just is. So I don't know what I'm going to do there. If you do take someone like Angel Reese today, guys, know that you're making the wrong play long term. The only reason to take it is because you're either one, riding the train, you've been cashing her, so you have no reason to get off the train. The reason to take under is she's due regression. So her line is going to be the most inflated it's going to be all season unless this generational run she's on continues. So that would be the reason to take under. Those are both sides of the coin you need to look at. Now, if we go to Pick Finder, my partner, which if you use code CRUSH, you can get 10% off for life, baby. For life. The link's in the description. You can get all the historical analysis for WNBA in a click of a button. Look at Dallas. You can see not so hot. All right. The head-to-heads are bad, but I don't care about any of that. She's on a different tier and outcome in June and July. So this is her range of outcomes. It looks like a slam dunk. This signals to me regression is coming. Is it going to come against Chicago? Is it going to come against Dallas? That's the only thing you need to ask yourself. Is it coming tonight? If the answer is no, take over. Answer yes, take under. You have to decide that. I can't tell you that. I have no idea when she's going to hit regression. I will tell you that the trend and signal is to take under, okay? How do I know that? Last 5, 100%. Last 10, 70%. Last 15, 53%. And 2025, 38%. 2024, 38%. That means she should not be having a 70% hit rate over the last 10. It should be more along the lines of 55%. How do we get back to that number? She has a bad game. Do I have the stones and gall to take it today? I don't think so. But I will leave that to you gents to decide. My job is to present the data to you in a way that makes sense. Anyone can find and look at the data, but if you don't understand what it means, chalk it all to the very depths of hell. Now, what is her RA at? 17.5. It's going to be something crazy. 17.5, 40 fantasy points. I mean, this is tough sledding, boys and girls. I mean, asking someone to get 13 rebounds, it's not that she can't get 13 rebounds. It just opens the door for so much to go wrong. Blowouts before she gets to 13. Coaches' decisions to not play her a bunch of minutes, etc., etc. However, I will wait for my data model, which is finished with its calculation, so I will go take a look right now with you guys live. It is posted in the Discord, which you will get every day if you are subscribed to that. And you can see her fantasy score is projected for 40.3, 17 points and 12 rebounds, guys. 17 points and 12 rebounds. And then Paige on the other side, 19 points, 39 fantasy points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. So those are the two primary targets to attack. Okay, so what do we got? If we were to take 15.5 points, we could be dancing in the rain. 16.5 is a demon, okay? The model hasn't missed on her points yet, but like I said, data models are going to tell you to take over. Regression models are going to tell you to take under. Which one do you choose? Well, that's a fiddler's tune that Captain Crush doesn't know the dance moves for. You have to decide. For this channel right here and now, what is it if we take 1.2? That's not enough coin to justify that. What is the points rebounds here? 29.5, 24.5. That's got to be hitting. 24.5, but that's not even 2x. 29.5 PRA. Let me see if we go back to Cease. We'll put Reese on ice for now. We'll go back to Cease. He is a boost, like I said, but if we were to take his fantasy score here or pitches thrown, what do we get? 2.28x there. Now that is crispy. So that could be the reason we take Cease's fantasy score over here, 2.28x, okay? Or his pitches thrown. I think he throws 97 pitches today, but I also think he gets 6 strikeouts. So I don't know. Do I take that boost? I do these live, guys. I don't script these videos, so I am conflicted, as you can see. This right here is actually 2x, 1.95 if we take her PRA at 29.5. Now that is not bad. So we get 68% on Dylan Cease. 63%, excuse me. Again, we can't take his earned runs on parlay play, unfortunately. But let's go take a look at Pick Finder. I know I'm spending a lot of time on Cease, guys, but my whole job is to help you guys learn how to do this. I'm not just here to like, oh, take what I take. I want you guys to be independent thinkers. So if we look at his head-to-heads against Arizona, this was 2024. Look at his pitches. He soared. And then if you look at his last 10, 103, 93, it doesn't matter how many runs or whatever he gives up. He still has a long leash. And we just saw it last night. They're letting their pitchers go further. But if we apply the same logic as we do Angel Reese, he is due regression to not clear 96.5. The boost is fine for 2x. I'm going to do this right here. I'm going to split the baby. 75 to win 146 for a little double up. Okay. There's my boost with Angel Reese's PRA. My goodness. Did I really just lock in my boost on that? And then I'm going to take his fantasy score. And I'm going to go back to Reese. That Goblin PRA, I mean, the model likes it. 17 plus 12 is 29. If she gets one dime or one more over, she's clearing. So we have that. That's 2.28x right there. And then we're going to look at some more MLB. Now, like I said, for Cease on PrizePicks, it's 1.5 earned runs allowed. And this will give me exposure to, let's say he does poop the bed by giving up a bunch of runs and chalks his fantasy score, then this is going to be green no matter what, because there's no path to him not covering fantasy score and not going over 2 earned runs. But I can cash both. He can give up 2 runs and still cash his fantasy score. Or you can just take the Goblin at 5.5 with any random square and get 2x. On PrizePicks, it pays a lot, actually. 2.25x with any random square. It's not bad. The Diamondbacks shouldn't be striking out a lot. You understand? But Cease does have it in him, and at home he plays well. So enough about Cease. Let's move on. My goodness. Cease to talk about Cease. Would you please, kid? All right. Sandy Alcantara is on the slate, folks. The Sandman himself. Playing against Cincinnati Reds. What's he going to do? Well, I have a rule. Forget the data. Forget everything. I just take Sandy to get shelled. On average, that is what I do. I take him to get shelled, okay? Which means 2.5 earned runs, but they made it a gobby. 1.5 earned runs for sure is got to be on your mix. But look at this, which is a little bit weird. 17.5 pitching outs for the Sandman is a Goblin. Why? Because he's been going 6 innings. But even with 18 outs, he hasn't even been sniffing his fantasy score. Am I putting Sandy in a slip? No. If I took anything for Sandy, it would be under his Ks, and under fantasy and earned runs. But I just wanted to mention Sandy because I know he is a rule and people are going to be wondering about, hey, what's your read on Sandy? There it is. But David Peterson, 5.5 Ks we got to discuss. And then we'll discuss a few hitters, which I normally discuss on the live stream. We will discuss it though. All right. So David Peterson, 5.5 Ks. Let's go find the bad news on Crushed Bats. I already know it's going to be bad news. I already know because I know what it's going to do. Now here's the deal with Mr. Peterson. He's due a bounce back, as you can see with the trend signaling it, okay? Baltimore Orioles, average strikeout, average hitting, average walk rate versus right-handed pitchers. A matchup that you don't really want anything to do with. They used to be striking out a lot. But that was then. This is now as of today, July 9th, 2025. Now look at his last 10. 20 outs and only 4 Ks. 14, 5, 4, 3, 6, 6, 6. He has it in him, folks. He has it in him. Now, the Orioles have a bunch of sluggers. So knowing that they have a bunch of sluggers, I know that they're going to be swinging for fences, which leads me to look at this. Plus, I see the trend. He's due a bounce back. Let's run it 10,000 times and get the bad news. Here it is. Just like I told you, folks, it was going to be bad news. The model does not like this one bit. 5.2 Ks, 2 earned runs, 5 hits allowed, 2 walks, and 18 outs. Model says he's going to get under 5.5 Ks, but I know that it's going to give under 5.5 Ks because that is what the data given the matchup is going to simulate for. Look, 4, 5, 4, 3, 6, 6, 5. His ceiling is basically 6 Ks, and now I'm asking him for 6 in an average matchup. What could it be? Well, I'm looking beyond the data, and I'm going for a bounce back game, just hoping that he deals. So what I could recommend is over 5.5, or you could lower it to 4.5, and it would take you up to 57%. Now, normally I don't do that, but that is a reason. And his pitching outs, 18, earned runs, everything here looks solid. Now you can see with the wind, it's blowing out, increasing earned runs and hits by 5%. 5% is a big number, so there's even more reason to think he's going to get shelled today. So why in God's name would we bother with this? Because sometimes you just got to make a stand. And look, PrizePicks already adjusted it down from 5.5 to 4.5. Just like I said in the daily props, they did this with him and Verlander. So now you have no choice but to take him at 4.5 Ks if you want to dance. Now, like I tell people all the time, just getting the data and the stats, it's not enough, okay? It isn't enough at all, guys. You have to look a little bit deeper. PrizePicks and all these other books, someone mentioned in the comments the other day, guys, of course they have their own data models and everything that they're doing. They have all this information that's out there, they have too, and they're putting the lines up. So you have to ask yourself, why are they putting the lines up at these things? Why are they always so surgical? Answer that question first, and then move on from there. Why would Peterson's line be at 5.5 when he hasn't even come close? And it's because people are going to look at it, take under, and they're going to trap them into doing that. The data shows under, the last 5 shows under. The only thing that isn't showing under is the unquantifiable, which he's due a bounce back game based on his baseline performances, which I've tried to analyze and post and code into this new version. But again, even that is going to be flawed. It's impossible to quantify this, which is why you're always going to need someone at the helm giving you the recommendations, myself. Now, like I tell everybody, guys, you can make all the right data reads and still get it wrong. That is the gambling nature of what we do, what we love, okay? Like, and especially when you're targeting early games. Let me give you an example. Hauser today. Under Ks and over walks is all but green, I'm pretty sure, by the time of this video. But I also took under outs, and I'm 90% sure he's going to go over his outs. Why? Because he's just getting lucky with double plays, picking off people. Vladdy trying to steal a base. It's hilarious. He picks them off. That's all what I've got to see from the time of this video. But that is literally what's going to end up happening most likely. And he very well may go over 3Ks if they don't find a way to increase his pitch count. But it doesn't mean the read was wrong. The read was accurate. Trust me when I tell you. And then in addition to that, Verlander. I told everyone Verlander over under 4.5 Ks and that they were going to remove his line or bump it down. And he very well did get removed. They moved it to a 3.5 Goblin, and he very well may go over 5 Ks today. We don't know. Add in the layer of variance to the early game. Add into the layer that the Phillies have been swinging at everything for the last couple games, which I included in the write-up. But the read was there. The read was solid. He's 42 years old, guys. If he goes over Ks today, he goes over. It is what it is, fam, okay? Now, when you're making your lineups, you can go based off of data models, gut reads, whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you. It's your coin. But before I do, I want to tell you how to get in the live stream today at 5:30 Central Time, which it is on the Discord hosted there. You get in by going to CaptainCrush.net, $24.99 a month until the other hitter side is released. It's not about picks. It's not about spoon feeding. It's not about any of that, guys. What it is I provide a service, which you do get all those things. I give slips, picks, but I also give you access to simulation model tools that will help you with your process, guys. I'm a very process-driven guy. I aim to help you and foster and build a community, and I'm just the leader of that community. And that is my goal, to help you guys have a winning process. I love when you rely on your own process and not just rely on me to spoon feed. Sure, ask me what I like. Ask me what my reads are, whatever. That's great. That's wonderful. Choose to help you guys develop a process, not just for one sport, for every sport. Underdog, Sleeper, ParlayPlay, if you sign up with them, I will give you 30 days free to try it out. Same with Chalkboard. Just send me the email and I will send you a 30-day trial link once it's verified. If you've already exhausted that option, just click join now. It grandfathers in your price for life. Any price increases, you are logged in at $25 a month. 3 months for $60 is the discount right now. You get a 3-month special. It's $15 off the normal price. There's also a discount for 6 months to a year. You get access to all my data models, live streams, picks, slips, community, and more. I hope to see you guys in. It runs through Dub Club, hosted on Discord. Come join the winning team. I hope to meet you guys in the future. Now, we got Peterson at 4.5. Look at the pay cut we have to take now because the 4.5 is there. 5.5 is there. 1.66. I mean, this was a full square on PrizePicks an hour ago. Now it's all the way down to 1.66 of a payout. This is only 4x. Not in love with this. Now, folks, I was going to talk about Lucas Giolito, but I think this video's gone on long enough. The main takeaway here is Cease, Angel Reese, and David Peterson. Those are the three that you need to consume yourself with. Look a little deeper, make your own reads and calculations, and let me know what you end up on. But I did say we were going to look at some hitters today, so let's go ahead and look at some hitters, which I like to do this on the live stream where I can run the projections. But Riley Green, 5.5 hitter fantasy score. He's due a big day. I'm not going to give analysis on these. I'm just going to tell you the guys who I believe are good. Riley Green is due a big day. Pete Alonso has been an absolute demon. I don't think he's due a big day because he's been having a bunch of big days, but I think he's in the conversation. You want to target any of the Red Sox to go yard against the Colorado pitchers? You absolutely could. Any of those guys are in the mix. Mr. Corey Seager. Listen, we talked about him yesterday. If you want to ride this man till you have the wheels fall off, I am not going to begrudge you a bit. He's just been going yard after yard. You got no reason to take a day off. Manny Machado, he's due a decent game today. I think he's in the mix. Him and Tatis are both due bounce backs. Corbin Carroll had a home run robbed yesterday. I think he's in the mix. I would take Manny and Corbin. And then any of the Athletics would be fine. But if you made me make a slip, it would look something like this. I got to take the Red Sox, and anyone has been taking Romy. Look at this man. Why am I going to get off this train now? I'm taking Gonzalez, and that's just how it's going to be. And it's not because his last 5. It's just because I've been on him. He's in a good matchup, and he's been cashing me, and I got no reason to get off that train. Same goes for Seager versus Kyle Hendricks. I ain't getting off now. And then Judge? A Judge. 1.5 bases is 100% in play. But unfortunately for me, I have the Yanks banned. But if you want to take Judge today, today's a day you could take him over 1.5 bases. And then, like I said, Manny to round it out. Manny, Machado, or Mr. Tatis. Either one of those two gents. Guys, we'll cover more on the live stream. I know the video's all over the place today. I've been saying it all for the last 3 months. I don't know what else to say, guys. I'm working as hard as I can to get things done. Appreciate you tuning in. Here's the salute. Good luck in all your contests. And as always, my brothers and sisters in Christ, let's crush.